Hi everyone, so here's today's or this week's challenge, and I've kept it simple again today. And what I want you to do is to look at some of the dies that you have and consider cutting them out with just black silhouette. So here I've got one with lilies. I've got this is what I cut out in white, so that is what I would normally colour in, but this is just black. I've added a verse and I've added an eagle, but we're going to have a look at doing backgrounds on here. So here's another one. This one was an odd flower that I don't use very often, and yet it looks really nice on there. This is a carnation, and again an oval on the background. That was a circle and a square. So we're going to look at how we do those. And this was a scalloped circle, and I've gone ahead. This one's got a double mount and corners. There's some new ones that we've got into the workshop. And say this dark background. Okay, so we're going to have a look at how we do it. So I've got a couple of backgrounds that I made here, and we're going to look. You can do the backgrounds out of any colouring medium that you wish. Now this one I've die cut an oval, so I'm going to place my oval onto my card, and this particular oval, because I've cut it quite close to the edge and I was getting marks that went over, I've put a bit of bit of Scotch Magic, so that's just going to hold it in place for me. So the first thing we're going to look at is an ink pad. Okay, so I've got some odd bits of sponge, and if you want to, you can just cut this round a bit just to take off the straight edges. Sometimes the straight edges show up. Right, this one has got blended colours on it, and it goes from light to dark. So I'm going to start with the light, dab a little bit onto my sponge, and I'm going to start on the actual card itself, this mask. So I'm going round and round, and I'm gradually bringing in my colour. It takes a little while to build up, but it's better to start with the lighter colours first rather than going in with the dark. So I'm always starting on the edge of the scrap card here. These masks, if you like, are the only ones that I have used, so I can keep using them over and over again. Now, I've got this one taped down, so I know I can get it back into the right place. But what I wanted to show you, if I lift that, you can see how it's coming together. Okay, so I'm going to carry on. Just fill in. There we go. Right, okay, now I'm going to move up a little bit into the next two colours, and again starting on this mask, I'm just coming round in little circular movements, round and round, and I want to get a small border building up so that I've got the light left here. So I'm going to bring that round there. So I'm leaving that piece light. I'm then going into my darkest one, still using the same bit of foam because you can wash them out, and I'm just gradually coming in with a darker bit. Right, Easter's coming up, and that would make a nice Easter egg. So let me take this off. Be careful of your fingers being dirty. And there is my background. Now let me move that one to one side and get this one out. We'll be dealing with other ways of colouring in a minute. So there is my background. Okay. Now here is one I know is a favourite of quite a few of you, with the birds on the branch. So that is a lovely background to that. Okay, place that one. What about a stag standing on the edge? Right, I've also die cut a fence, so I could cut my fence. I would shape it round as well, but you could have a fence going through, and if you wanted to, you could put a circle here that was another mask, and then you could have a moon on that area. Right, here we've got a lady with her dress. She could be on there, and we've also got a dove, and he has an olive branch there which can go in his mouth. So easy sympathy card. But if you want to use up some of your decoupage pieces, what about putting a decoupage on there, and we've got a little butterfly up there. So an attractive card, and all you've really used is some shape on the background, and you've filled it in with colour. Okay, so let's slide these off. We're going to look at a different way of doing it. So let's bring in another card, and this time I'm going to bring in a square. So one of the good ways of making sure this stays where you want it are the little clips that I use so much around the workshop. Click it down and make sure you're not interfering with the shape. So that one's just tucked in. So let's move that along, snap it into place, and now nothing is going to move that. Just give myself a little bit more space there. Right, now we're going to have a look at watercolour. So this was an odd palette that I had just stuffed in a cupboard somewhere that probably hasn't seen the light of day for probably 8 or 9 years. Okay, so I have a little bit of water. I'll put that to one side there. And I'm going to take a little bit of water, and I'm going to do these, I think, orange and yellows. So I take my water, I dip my brush in, and I put a little bit of water on the colours that I want to use. Okay. Wash my brush, and now I'm going to dip and then just dab off. So I'm going to now pick up a bit of colour. I've got a wide brush, but so long as you're not fiddling with a tiny brush, that's fine. Now I'm just going to go over, and I'm doing about a third. Okay. I'm going to wipe my brush I'm going to pick up the next darkest colour, and that is going over, and I'm going into the area I've just done as well. So I'm blending in there. Now I don't want too much dark stuff on there, so I'm going to just lighten that off. Not quite that much. And I'm going to bring in the orange, and I'm bringing the orange down to meet the yellow. Now I can see I've got quite a hard line there, so I'm going to go back to my middle yellow, and I'm just going to blend that. That's nice. Okay, all looks a bit messy until we take this off. Do be careful of your fingers getting messy. There we go. So there is my background. I'm going to shut that up for the moment. So we've used a stamp pad, we've used watercolour. Let's have a look at this. So we could have the stag on there, we could have the lady on the side, we could have the dove, we could have the birds. There we go. So we can do all sorts of colour washes on the background. Okay, if you don't want to use black, then we can pull in the decoupage. It even looks nice with just the white. So there's our next one. So we've used what's it, pads? Ink pads. We've used watercolour, and now we're going to have a look. I've got a circle. Once you've made these masks here, you can keep them, and I've actually done it out of Adorable Scoreable, which has got a gloss effect, so when I've finished with these I can just wipe them with a baby wipe and they're ready to store away. So let me get that one just straightened up a bit. There we go. And now we're going to have a look at pens. Okay, so if you haven't got an ink pad and if you haven't got watercolour, we're looking at some pens. I'm just grabbing some pens from behind me. Right, I've got a golden brown, an earth brown and a dark green, so I'm not sure what they'll be like. So I'm going to start off randomly with these. Now I'm going to just scribble on the end of my worktop with my first one, and I'll put that to one side. Now you can either pick this up with your damp sponge. Got purple on there, so okay, so I can pick that up with a damp sponge and bring that in on a damp sponge. I can pick it up with my brush and brush across. Don't have to go horizontally. Right, we can go at an angle if you like. Right, I'm now then going to, I'll just have to dry that off so the colour goes. Right, so there we go. That one isn't going to work. Let's find out. There we've got another colour. So I'm now picking up with my brush and slightly water it down so it picks up. It's a bit better. Now, as one of my pens had run out, I'd better just grab another one. I'll have one that's slightly yellowy. Let's see. Yes, that one's all right. So now I'm going to come in from that side, and I'm coming down. Take the tiniest bit of water to help pick it up. It's better. Right, so let's take the mask on. And let's have a look what we have here. So now I have the background. There's the deer. The dove. There's the lady. And what else have we got? We've got these birds here. And we've got the die cut decoupage on there. I think I'll have him flying the same direction as that. Right. Okay, so I use a lot of soft matte greetings. But let's put that to one side, and I think being it's browns and creams, I'm going to have someone special. There we go. And I'm going to place that onto that. So a normal peel off greeting. Part of it's come off, so I need to just catch that bit there. There we go. To someone special. And then you can see, you can position that anywhere. So it's a quick video, so have a look what you've got around your house as a colouring in medium. Always, if it's pens, work it onto a glass plate or worktop or something, and make sure you clean up whatever you've got. Cut yourself several masks to go on different shapes, and then have a look at what you can achieve with a black silhouette. There we go. Okay, so have a little play, see what you can come up with, and I'd love to see your designs. Okay, have fun. God bless.